So we lived kind of through a natural disaster of sorts, and also we need to hear from you. That's today on the Jordan Michael Tuesday Show. This was us a day after we got hit by Hurricane Helene. At this point, we didn't know quite how bad the storm was. We would soon find out. You hear the generator in the background. We're on day 2. Yesterday morning at 8 a.m. we had 40-mile-an-hour winds, and here in the mountains that's really a lot, and rain like you wouldn't believe. One of the main rivers in our area, the river is normally 3 feet. The record was 20-point-something feet. And what I heard was that because of the rainfall that we were going to have, we were going to reach 30.5 feet. All of our neighbors and us are saying, hey, we've never seen this kind of rain like this in this area. I mean, you could just hear it whooshing and gushing all around the house. We rent from a very nice gentleman, so we're in a double wide and we're, on a real foundation, so that was helpful. And the water runs off pretty well on our property. But we looked outside in the morning after 8, and what was normally just a little creek became a river over our driveway, destroying the driveway. Left my work car on like rock stilts, where the rocks were the only thing that was being held underneath the car. The bridge that we have was almost completely destroyed. And the thing is, we still haven't got any cell phone power. Now, we're filming ahead on this. By the time this airs, all this will be, we'll know exactly the damage and know what went on. But at this point, all the cell phones are down. We aren't able to know what's going on. Both sides, this side and this side, were down by trees, so we can't make it into town either way. We've had to flush the toilets by getting water from the creek. Thankfully, we've had a Berkey filter that is really good for filtering water, so that we could actually take the creek water and turn it into water that we can drink. But it has been something else. It's hard to remember, but I believe that dirt has been chewed out about maybe 5 to 7 feet, maybe more, from beyond what it used to be. So all of a sudden, the whole dynamic of the creek bed has changed. This creek is just supposed to run underneath the pipe and go into that pipe. It's running over top of it now, and yesterday it was so high it was lifted up above here and so strong that it took every patio stone off of the walkway and just took it downstream, and also destroyed all the barrier.
And yesterday the water was just rushing and like pouring into the carport right here, but our dog food container is gone. Dog food's gone. But thankfully our landlord is able to come this morning and just like level out the driveway again, because there were so many ruts and divots that it was going to be hard to even like drive, but thankfully it's all nice and smooth again this morning. Also, we have a very small generator running there, which is helping keep our fridge and freezer on periodically between hooking up the water so we can use some water.
How'd you feel in the storm, Ruthie?
Well, we had to sleep in the living room. Wait, how did I feel, or what did we do?
Your thoughts?
I wasn't afraid, but my little sister kept thinking we were gonna die.
Did the Lord take care of us?
Yep.
And do we know what happened to the rest of the town yet?
Nope, our phones are down.
Power's out?
Yep.
So what do we do?
We can drive.
Hey, maybe that's right. Maybe we should drive. We'll pack the family up in the car and look around town, see how far we can get, because if the grocery store's open, we could use some more supplies. So far I've seen I think I've seen at least 4 bridges that go directly to people's houses washed away. Some not completely washed away, some washed away. And just in a couple miles here, we would have been stopped by trees. Yesterday, we would have been stopped by trees yesterday in 4 or 5 different places, at least, and there's one landslide. We've heard that there's landslides all over town, and so this is just nothing we've ever experienced before. There was a hurricane in 2004 that made its way up here, but we're not. This isn't common to the mountains to deal with this kind of thing. Whoa!
Oh, whoa!
There's
we
a
almost hit
low
a
hanging branch.
Well, it's kind
I
of
don't know
a
how
tree that
close
was
we were
falling.
to it, but
I feel like it's gonna hit my head. Like
You dug.
I know I did.
know. Well, I heard that this church got flooded, so obviously the water's gone down a little bit. We just had to turn around. We live on a long stretch of road, probably a 10-mile stretch of road, and on this end, one of the main rivers is just overflowing over the bridge. And on that end, power lines are down, roads are undermined. Everywhere we're going on every side, there's roads that are closed. You just can't get out. You can't get through. So we got spinach, chicken, rice,
Lentils.
and thankfully, and it's been neat to see how the Lord's provided. We were like, okay, what do we do about water and stuff when we're dipping from the creek? But he shows up and says, hey, we got a generator for you. He gave us a small generator that's keeping the refrigerator going and that we can unplug and plug into the well pump to take showers and get the water going. We're on the low end of groceries, but you know, we should have about 2 or 3 days worth of food.
Ever since COVID, I have been storing up lentils and rice. So we have probably a month's worth of lentils and rice, and we have a good amount of oatmeal, and we've been storing them in big, you know, 3.5 gallon ice cream buckets so we can cook our lentils.
Yummy! I love lentil soup.
Well, anyway,
But I am thankful for food,
yeah.
even if it's barely food. As we drove around, it would be easy to believe that our town was hit the hardest. After all, our power was out personally for 9 days and trees were down everywhere, including on people's houses. Mudslides with boulders cut off roads and severely damaged property. But as we were eventually able to hear news, we found that the areas 30 and 40 minutes away were hit far worse and had received the brunt of the storm. Our hearts go out to the families that lost homes and especially those that lost loved ones in the storm. In this storm, it's been amazing to see neighbors helping neighbors, and that has been the most healing thing in our community, and especially to see the church rising up and caring for the people around them. So we're home now and came down to look at this bridge that was completely washed away. And while we came, look at what we found. A dead rattlesnake. And we're about quarter mile from our house. Events like this really get you thinking. Just overnight, through a huge rainstorm, the whole town shut down. Your way of doing life shut down. It's pretty humbling, and it makes you realize how reliant you are on the Lord to take care of your every need and to provide for you. And it just makes you realize how much we really aren't as in control as we think we are. As a matter of fact, we're not in control at all. That God is in control. What's your thoughts, Juliana? What does this kind of event make you think?
I just keep getting reminded of put your trust in the Lord.
Our life right here is really about what we're sowing for eternity. And sometimes God uses events like this in the nation just to remind you what's important and to remind you about the, you know, how fragile life is and how fragile the things we rely on are. And that we really need to rely on Him and think about what our eternal perspective is. As we concluded this video, we had a question for you guys about the Jordan Michael Tuesday show in general. We want to know that you guys are still with us on it and that you're still enjoying it out there, and that if you care to take the time to send us an email, and it doesn't have to be flattering or anything like that, just factually of how the Jordan Michael Tuesday is being received in your home. That would be very helpful to know if we're still on the right path, if we need to change some things up, or...
We want to know if you're still laughing and if you're still enjoying the show.
Of course. Does it make you laugh? Are you still enjoying it? How is it received with your family? How do you use it? Is it something that you use as part of a Bible study thing? Is it something that you just use as part of your schooling? Or is it something that's just fun to watch?
We want to know if this show is helping you grow in your walk with the Lord.
Does it
Closer to the
start
Lord,
conversation
yeah.
in your family? And just any other thoughts that you have on it. Also, what you'd like to see more of. Thank you to anybody that's ever supported the channel. Thank you for those that do. Just your support is a huge blessing to alleviate that time taken off of work or the time that we're putting into it. So thank you so much. Anyway, this is us right now. I don't think it's like a high energy or anything like that, but we'll get back to that. And we'll look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can send us an email by going to jordanmichaeltuesday.com and click on send message. And we'll see you next time on the Jordan Michael Tuesday Show.